Human anatomy and medical technology. Numbers. Many times you'll encounter a medical term that contains a prefix that describes a number. Here are a few of the most common. Prefix meaning example mono, uni 1 unilateral bi 2 bilateral tri 3 triplicate quadra 4 quadriceps hex, sex 6 hexos diplo double diplococcus. Directions and positions in medicine. You'll often encounter terms that describe where a procedure or condition takes place on the body. Prefix meaning example ab away from abduction ad toward adduction ecto, exo outside ectoparasite endo inside endoderm epi upon epinephrine. Positional and directional medical terms. There are also a number of positional and directional medical terms that are not suffixes or prefixes, but are instead standalone words. Here is a short medical billing terminology list of some of the most valuable. Word meaning examples anterior or ventral at or near the front surface of the body, anterior nerves, posterior or dorsal at or near the real surface of the body, dorsal surface of the hand, superior above, superior cranial aspect, inferior below, inferior aspect, lateral side, lateral aspect, distal farthest from center, axons distal to the injury, proximal nearest to center proximal end of the forearm. Basic anatomy terms. This medical billing terminology list will help you navigate the CPT and ICD manuals, decipher doctors' reports, and give you a more thorough understanding of the medical practice in general. Let's look now at a few basic terms for the regions of the body. You might recognize some of them. Word body part abdominal abdomen acromial point of shoulder antebrachial forearm antecubital front of elbow axillary armpit brachial arm buccal cheek calcaneal heel of foot. Carpal wrist caudal tail cephalic head cervical neck clavicular collar bone coastal rib coxal hip cranial skull. Curl leg cubital elbow deltoid curve of shoulder digital fingers and toes dorsal upper back femoral thigh fibular outer side of the lower leg between the knee and ankle frontal forehead. Genital pertaining to the reproductive organs gluteal buttock hallux great toe inguinal groin lumbar loin, lowest part of the spine below the false ribs and between the hips mammary breast manual hand mental chin nasal nose. Nuchal back of neck occipital back of head olecranal point of elbow oral mouth orbital iotic ear palmar palm patellar kneecap. Pectoral chest pedal foot pelvic pelvis perineal between the groin and the anus perineal outer side of the calf plantar sole of foot pollex thumb popliteal back of knee. Pubic groin sacral between the hips scapular shoulder bone sternal breastbone sural calf tarsal ankle thoracic chest umbilical navel ventral belly vertebral spinal column. Conditions. Now that we've taken a look at the terms that describe the major regions of the body, let's turn to some conditions that may affect those body parts in this medical terminology list. Prefix meaning example ambi both ambidextrous aniso unequal anisocytosis dice bad, painful, difficult dyslexia eu good, normal eukaryote hetero different heterogeneous homo same homogeneous hyper excessive, above hypertension hypolac, below hypoglycemic iso equal, same isotope mal bad, poor malnutrition megalo large megalomania. Suffix meaning example algia pain myalgia asthenia weakness may also be a standalone term neurocirculatory asthenia emia blood hypoglycemia iasis condition of elephantiasis itis inflammation bronchitis lysis destruction, breakdown dialysis lytic destroy, breakdown hydrolytic oid like haploid oma tumor fibroma. Apathy disease of neuropathy orasia hemorrhage metrorrhagia aurea flow or discharge diarrhea osis abnormal condition of tuberculosis paresis slight paralysis hemiparesis plasia growth achondroplasia plegia paralysis quadriplegia nya breathing sleep apnea. Surgical procedures. Let's wrap up this vocabulary review with a look at some of the most common surgical procedures. Since it's always imperative to list where on the body a surgical procedure was performed, these vocabulary terms are a small but useful addition to this section. Memorize this medical terminology suffixes list and you'll know instantly what kind of procedure was performed, even if you don't know exactly what the procedure did. Suffix meaning example centesis puncture a cavity to remove fluid amniocentesis ectomy surgical removal or excision hysterectomy ostomy a new permanent opening tracheostomy otomy cutting into, incision gastrotomyography surgical repair or suture gastrorrhaphy opexy surgical fixation nephropexy oplasty surgical repair rhinoplasty otripsy crushing or destroying lithotripsy.